As far as an explanation for what has been going on, this video may be the most important video I've made on this whole channel. So when you look at my videos, okay, keep in mind they are cyber attacking me. They are harassing me, persecuting me, covertly drugging me, etc. So everything becomes an expression, an artistic expression. Think about simple works of art in the Middle East, in America, Native Americans, West Africa, and so on and so forth, and Nubians. They're not always made of gold, or they're not made of precious metals. Sometimes they're made of simple things. Sometimes it's stone, and and sometimes they're not perfect. They're not a perfect, symmetrical work of art, but it's an artistic expression. When you really look at it and examine it, it is showing you the person's struggle. You're seeing a bit of the person. You're seeing a bit of the artist in the work of art. And so therefore, people who hide behind mainstream social norms, who fail to see things for what they really are, who fail to live in reality, they'll look at my videos and they'll say, I don't understand this guy's martial arts. I don't understand why he dresses that way. They'll say, I don't understand this, that, and the other thing. So what will they do? By default, they'll fall back on white social norms, really. They'll say, well, this guy's making these sloppy videos, and he's supposed to have a degree in software engineering and information technology and so on. And he dresses in a gi with this patch, and, his hair is unkempt, and, his beard is whatever you might say, nappy beard, I don't know. There's all these pictures in his background. And I've covered this kind of before, but I want to try to more thoroughly cover this so you can all understand. Well, for everything, there's a logical explanation, especially if you've been following this. I think that the more insightful people working for the enemy understand very well that the patch was sewed on by someone else who recommended the position, and it didn't work out for me. Okay? Somebody who's been helping the gang stalking. I'm not going to get into who that is. I wear my martial art gis. My newer gis, I don't have patches on them, but I don't wear them because they're newer and I'm trying to keep them in good condition. Okay? And I'm a humble guy. It's part of why I wear these clothes. I have a lot of nice clothes, and I don't wear them in most of my videos because I'm trying to keep them in good condition, which has a cultural aspect to it as well. My dad, for instance, when he was younger, he used to be naked when he was like a little kid, and he'd have like one good pair of clothes is what he used to tell me, that they were his church clothes. And besides that, he was naked and wearing, worn out clothes for the most part. And this is common in many countries, and, this is sort of my culture, is to not, dress nicely when I don't have to, to not go out of my way to, most of the days I'm researching and I'm doing martial arts, so I'm wearing I do martial arts every single day, even when I'm injured. So why do you think I'm wearing martial arts clothes? And I talk about how political activists have posters and picket signs and bumper stickers, typically, unless there's some rich fake bourgeoisie or ruling class, activists. This is very common. Controlled and uncontrolled opposition alike, for people who make about as much as I do, more or less, within reason. The hair, I've talked about how 3 different barbers purposely messed up my hair. I could tell the difference. They did it in a way that make me look crazy. So I actually look less crazy by not getting a haircut. And I'm not good at cutting my hair. I have new clippers and I just don't want to go there. So now I'm growing out my afro. And since I have no one to trim it, it's slightly uneven, and so it appears unkempt. Even when I pick it out, it doesn't look right. And I'm growing out my beard. And so, and then the cyber attacks, and, I can't use Windows Movie Maker and different applications because I can't upload the video from the computer due to cyber attacks. They use the opportunity when I'm uploading the videos to attack my computer, and it's very, very obvious. Uploads take way longer than they're supposed to. and my computer shows signs of being cyber attacked heavily. So, and I can't even get on Facebook because it's like a beachhead for them to launch cyber attacks from. You know, I can't get too technical with you because you won't really understand anyway, you know. And basically, these people who are doing this are a lot more into computer science and software engineering than I am. You know, I have a bachelor's degree. Some of them have PhDs. Some of them just have been working with computers all their life. While I was being a great warrior, they were being a geek. While I was being a man of honor, they were fighting for greed and you know, standard of living and, you know, what have you. So when you truly understand the situation, you know, there is nothing that is out of the ordinary when you put it in context. So ironically, these are the same people who, when it suits them, are going to cry about being taken out of context. Of course, most people would. But will they apply that same scale to me? Everything that they could possibly bring up is taken out of context. They'd have to twist it for it to seem crazy. So at the end of the day, when all is said and done, people who don't look deeply and think deeply into things, who are blinded by the lens of mainstream social norms, will fail, unequivocally fail, to come to the correct conclusions for the lack of a true perspective. Their misconceptions will weigh heavy on them, and their scale will be unbalanced, and they will come to inferior conclusions. And this goes back to, and they will look for other people who see it their way and try to say, well, we'll do that's a form of hiding behind white social norms. I hope you understand this video, because it is one of the most important videos to understand, because without it, you won't understand why, no matter how I act, it makes sense. I'm being provoked for the purpose of getting me back to the psych ward. So if I act out of the ordinary, it is exactly what you would expect a normal person to do. You know? If I'm, you doing a noise harassment campaign against you, I'm cyber attacking you, I'm following around and staring at you and persecuting you and doing little bitch shit to piss you off. If you don't act upset, there's something wrong with you. Just like if you aren't upset for a lot of the same reasons that I am, there's something wrong with you. If you go along with the New World Order, there's something wrong with you. If you actually believe these ridiculous mainstream misconceptions that these unscrupulous cowards push, there's something seriously wrong with you. You're probably not too bright. You may score 100% on a test that reflects your lack of true understanding and your ability to apply an inferior perspective that has to do with mainstream social norms. But you'll have failed the true test of life, and you will truly show a horrendous inability to get to the bottom of things. So you'll see me act different ways in my videos. You'll see me act very poetic in my freestyle poems, and you'll see me get very into it. You know, I'm very passionate. I'm a warrior on a great mission. Okay? I'm the top martial artist on the most important mission of any man on the planet. And I feel very deeply about it. And I'm being harassed by the government. Organized harassment, organized stalking, covert experimentation, covert drugging. So, if there is a single thing that doesn't make sense to you, at least have the honor to bring it up in a logical way, so I can play you out like the bitch you are for your lack of insight. Thank you.
You're putting things in writing, and once you have a witness or two, and even then, you get back to your employer, and that's the first thing they're going to want to do is send you to psych eval. So it's a tough weighing battle. That's all I can tell you.
Well, I mean, short of doing a lawsuit, I mean, where somebody has, I think Linda brought this up, where somebody has really good evidence, somebody was suggesting as to get behind that person, you know, and put all our resources into that, just, you know, to set a precedent.
Well, the group effort or the individual effort has not worked. So, yeah, if you have several witnesses or all, that can help. Things that I have tried over the years, I've just not been so successful, but I've kept records and stuff. But yeah, after a certain point, I don't know what to do. You leave the country or something. I don't know.
Well, we have all these numbers. I mean, look at people are being put into this program probably daily, I'm guessing. So.
Yeah,
What I was thinking about the setting the precedents, I think the Finney lawsuit is, I mean, this is the first really huge and credible, I mean, these are credible people that are filing this lawsuit against huge, the agencies that we do believe are involved in what we're experiencing. And I think this is going, I mean, I think, first of all, Edward Snowden and the Patriot Act was open the doors. And I think this lawsuit is taking the ball and is keeping it rolling. And I think it's just going to get bigger and bigger because we're going to be able to see the information that is filed in this lawsuit, the evidence. It's a matter of public record. And we can get our hands on that and go to lawyers and say, see, this is not so crazy. These people are talking about being targeted. These people are talking about invaded documents taken, all kinds of horrible things. We're experiencing the same thing if we're not crazy. And here's some of the evidence already a matter of public record. That's what I think.
Absolutely.
I think it's huge for us. I'm so excited about this lawsuit. I can't stand it because I think it's our first step up and out. You know? Well, second step. Snowden was the first step. I just think it's good.
I've tried on an individual basis asking attorneys, and I've had 4 of them just turn it down. So maybe like William Binney or someone like that, or that guy that represented the veterans. There were several veterans of the same thing happening. We have a good chance. So, like I say, maybe this group effort lawsuit thing may go further. I really hope so as well.
Well, they're pretty credible plaintiffs. You know, it's not just some person that just came out of the mental institution because they love to get into the mental institution. You know, this is really credible, heavy duty stuff. You know, this lawsuit is huge, and it will. Yeah, lawyers look at us like we've got 3 heads and they're not going to get near us. Well, that's going to that power. We're going to have more power behind it after the evidence is out on that level, in my opinion.
Yeah. We have so many directions to look at. I mean, I'm looking at all this stuff on my desk. I can't even organize it in my mind. But I mean, we're looking at the technology. We're looking at laws. I mean, as victims of this, I want to talk about relationships and how people cope with that. Or my mind's going into 1,000 different ways here. But we have all of these issues that are really paramount. They're all important. Do we concentrate on having a call that does all of it? Or talk about coping stuff. I don't know what people want to talk about. So,
I think you got a good thing going here. I solved my problem. I don't talk to my family. It's my family. I think that's somewhat involved, and I'm done. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to be subjugated to being called crazy and delusional, and
right.
I'm tired of it. I'm not going there with the family anymore. If they want to see it that way, fine. But I have to make my own life. I can't do that. I can't subject myself. We get enough hassling. We get enough put down from these organized targeting. We get gossiped about. We get looked at like we're trash when actually it's trash that is looking at us. And I can't take it all in. So I just decided I got to walk away, and I did. I hope I can go back someday. I hope I do have a family, but only after it stops would I be strong enough to be able to deal with it. That's my. I wish I had. I wish I could have stayed connected, but I can't. I could not survive. Stay connected.
Right.
That may be a good thing that you're away from my family. I have 3 daughters, but I really, as my ex-wife said too, this stuff affects her as well as my children, and maybe it's better that victims like us are kind of away from our family because their lives can be affected as well too. It's not only the victim, but it's the family members that can be affected too. I remember my daughter, there's a few people she had brought over and they were on the root behavior campaign and all. It not only affects the victim, but it affects family members as well. So in a way, just being away from family members can be a blessing. You know, you don't have to screw up their life as well as your own. So that's how I kind of look at things. It's kind of sad, but it's kind of very.
Are you in Michigan? Are you the Michigan guy?
No, I live in Arizona here.
Arizona.
Victims out here, I guess there was Desiree Foy and Kelly Dean and Shauna Miller, and I think I met Shelley Boyle. I met a few of them. They've met me out here and all. And, we talk and get-togethers every now and then. But, it just, this has been a lifelong thing with me. But I just moved out here from California. I did live in California and Nevada, but job markets out there are just not too good for me. So that's why I moved out here.
So are your daughters grown? Are they young? Or?
Oh, yeah. My daughters are in their 20s now. They're on their own, and they're all gone anyway. So, yeah, they're nice anyway. It's just, they're on the.
I was wondering.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I was wondering. I just came to the call like 10 minutes ago. I was wondering if anyone else is being covertly drugged.
I am not. I have heard of people being drugged or poisoned or. Tell us what your situation is.
Well, I'm being there's like fumes that come in my room every night, and everywhere I go for like fast food, they put drugs in my food. I think it's some kind of sedative, or I think sometimes it might be a stimulant, but it's every single day, and it's at over 20 different restaurants.
Okay, that could also might be done remotely. It might not be in the food itself, and they're creating. Are you like getting sick to your stomach or throwing up?
I just feel like it's potent. It's potent psychiatric type of medication. I feel it's hard to explain.
I wouldn't take any of that psych stuff. Maybe I know there's people advise it. When I first got out of the service 30 years ago, they wanted me to take that stuff, and from what I've read, the stuff, the more side effects are much more worse than whatever it's supposed to cure. I mean, it's basically worse to work place, right? I wouldn't advise that at all. Just there's more natural cures for whatever's ailing you. That's my advice.
Yeah, I don't take it willingly, and I think part.
It's being given to him.
Forced, yeah. And my employer tried that. When I worked for the post office, they tried to force that stuff on me. I filed my charges and all, and that was one of the requirements of returning to work. That's why I retired early, and I was glad I did, because some of these damn employers will try to pull that crap. They'll say, well, they don't say anything. They will never investigate what's going on with this satellite terrorism, and then they'll try to force you to psychiatry to a drug. And that's one of the other problems wrong with this, because it's a vicious cycle, and unless you can move on to another job to where you're not forced to do anything, you're going to be forced to do that to keep that job. Or Social Security check or whatever it is. So my suggestion is try to get in a situation where they can't force you to do that, or file some sort of charges, like I had to do with my employer. I think they fired the nurse before after my EEO complaint saying you're being forced to do this and no legal right to do that, and that was the end conclusion. With the post office was not legal or not allowed to force them to take anything, and that was the end result. And the nurse got fired. So I just want to throw that in there as well. They cannot force you to do that.
Well, I live with my parents, and the gassing, I really have no way to figure out where that's coming from. And with the food, I really can't prove it, because if I went and got tested for drugs or something, it wouldn't prove that they put it in the food. You see what I'm saying?
That was that Karen? Karen on? No, it wasn't me. Oh, no, I know that was you.
No. Wow. That gentleman with the food should go into a supermarket and buy, whatever meat he likes in hermetically sealed in a package, and goes into the bakery and get a nice roll that he likes. And he should make his own burger, toast it, and throw in the hermetically sealed meat. He should make his own.
Oh.
And keep away from these fast food places.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would help. Just make your own food. Yeah.
Yeah, and the only reason we take drugs as opposed to homeopathic medicine is because it's urgent. Because maybe the pain is too great, you need it to go away quickly, so you take the drugs. But if you have something that isn't kind of majorly urgent, you can take the homeopathic type medicine, and which isn't so hard on your body, on your physiology, So if there's no severe degree of urgency, one should, if at all possible, go with the homeopathic.
So the gentleman that was talking, do you make your own food at times, or do you just go out to restaurants?
Oh, one of the places is doing it is the grocery store at Safeway. They kind of got used to what I buy. I buy a lot of sandwich meats and a lot of the same things. And recently I've been trying to mix it up a little bit, and that's been helping a little bit.
They do go after things you buy frequently. You have to vary what they contaminate things, and it's kind of everywhere I've been. Eventually, the things I usually buy, so you have to switch up a lot. You have to vary where you buy your stuff, and also, I get 10 tins of salmon. I go to the 99-cent store here, and I get lovely wild and tinned salmon and stuff like that. But I buy my bread in Albertsons and from the bakery pot, and they're already there in rolls, little jalapeno rolls and this, that, and the other. And I go in at different times. I'm not a shopper. I'm a sporadic shopper, so they wouldn't be able to have something there, especially from me. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm a sporadic shopper, and I buy a lot of, as I say, stuff, salmon, wild salmon, in the 99-cent store, and that means I stick, they can't contaminate it because I would check the tin, before I didn't buy it, and these hermetically sealed things in the fridges, like sealed ham, sealed turkey, whatever. I get again in the 99-cent store. I get a package smoked. I like the smoked stuff because it kills all bacteria, and they're hermetically sealed. And it's in the freezer department. I've smoked stuff now. That is porcelain, that's all. Right. Carry on. I'm sorry. I didn't understand. Carry on.
May I ask the young man, where do you eat this food? Do you take it home and eat it home all the time? They can get. I've noticed that sometimes food in my refrigerator has been tampered with, or something that I tend to want to drink all the time, like milk, in my coffee that seems to have been tampered with. Do you take it home and eat it in the same place every time? That's one question. Number two, I wanted you to mention that just on your the free fume, you can get covers that are magnetically will link to the vent covers, and you can block those fumes. You can't block your vent covers.
Oh, okay. So I do eat it at home, and I do notice that they tamper with it at home. They tamper with it every chance they get. And what did you say about the vent covers? What can I get for it?
Okay, Amazon. In fact, I'll look it up and I'll put it on the site. Amazon has some vent covers that have a magnetic backing, so it sticks to any metal. How our vents have metal on them. The vent covers will stick to that and prevent any gases coming through.
Oh, yeah. Well, I get followed around by different groups of people. I can pretty much identify them as some of them are political activists, some of them are gang members, some of them are family of people in the psych ward. Because I've been to the psych ward for superficial reasons, and there's different groups of people that are working together, and some of them you would expect them not to get along with each other. So and I've getting a lot of cyber attacks because I make videos on YouTube, partly about psychiatry, and I definitely noticed that a lot of people who are doing it are in mental health. And I'm getting cyber attacked a lot to where I can't even get on Facebook on my computer without my computer being thoroughly cyber attacked. So I have to get on it with my cell phone. And on YouTube, when I upload videos, I can't upload videos from my computer anymore because I get too heavily cyber attacked. So I have to upload them from my cell phone as well.
It seems like everybody has it's fascinating because everybody has variations. We all have similar things, yet it varies.
Good antivirus program helps. I have a Kaspersky antivirus, and that's really solved a lot of problems on the internet. I used to have crashes all the time, but that antivirus program really works good for me and my computer. I don't have any problems for yours.
What's the antivirus? Which one?
It's called Kaspersky.
Oh, yeah.
It seems to really be pretty good. I haven't had any problems with crashes or anything, especially with Windows 10. If people upgrade to Windows 10 and have that Kaspersky, it seems like there's just eliminated 90% of the problems. We were talking about a diet earlier, and one thing I've been reading and know is that that corn syrup glucose. There's like 30 to 60 million diabetics in this country. I was even diagnosed borderline diabetic, and I didn't know what was going on. They say that's the main reason people are getting diabetes is that corn syrup glucose. And you'd be surprised at how many products that is into. Say yogurt has high amounts in it. Snack bars have high amounts in it. It's something to do with the wheat bread as well. And there's a list of things that has that in it. So, this gentleman was talking about problems with diet and stuff, poisoning the food. Well, you've got to be really picky to the point where everything you eat, including the water you drink, you better damn sure if it's. I'll tell you one thing that's helped me is distilled water. It will detoxify your body. And if you just drink regular tap water, that's full of fluoridated and inorganic minerals that'll just clog your system up. And that's all I would say. You pretty much got to study health for a while to figure out what you've been doing wrong with the years, because it's taken me a long time to really figure out what I should eat and shouldn't eat. But I can just tell you that those things that have the corn syrup glucose and this tap water, left and right. So I'll just throw that in there.
Oh, yeah, that's got to be the worst stuff for you.
Distilled water, though, it really helps. A lot of people, I always thought that was like for car batteries or something, but I've been drinking it now for 6 months to a year, and the distilled water, they say it leaches out all the toxins in your body, vaccines, and even they said plutonium or uranium that's in your body, which will be a concern in the future since the oceans are polluted with that stuff from the Fukushima. If people don't start drinking distilled water, they're just going to start dying left and right, the people that are living on the coast. And I would expect that to happen in a year or two, or maybe even now. You probably see a lot of that because of Fukushima. And unless they do distilled water, that uranium is going to get in their body, and they're just going to start croaking. And the people that want to discover, look at the ocean, all the fish that are dying, and the whales. So it's killing them. It's going to kill humans pretty quick, too. So they just do that.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I know of that will help that uranium, other than that, what they call iodine, Nathan iodine. I've heard that's supposed to help. So that can't be a concern in the future, depending on what happens here with the Fukushima. And there's more and more that leaking into the ocean daily.
actually made a fist when I wasn't supposed to.